Hey everyone, for those of you that don't know me, I'm a value-focused whale, and my goal is to help you get the most out of your resources. Today I'll be going over Cobalt-B and why I think she has a lot of value even after her nerfs. It's important to take a step back and look at things objectively so you don't get caught up in the hype, whether it's negative or positive. In case you guys didn't know, Cobalt-B's advancements got nerfed more than what leaks suggested, so people started crying about it as soon as the patch dropped. It's kind of amusing since most of the people who are complaining don't even have the resources to get her to her important advancements in the first place. It's kind of like making minimum wage and being mad that millionaires are getting taxed more. As for the nerfs themselves, people only really care about them because they have this delusion that she's only worth getting if you get her to 3 stars. I don't think the nerfs are a big deal simply because there's no alternative for a fire DPS. Because of this, we won't really know how impactful the nerfs are until we get another fire DPS. And spoiler alert, that's probably not going to be for many months. And on top of that, that character is going to be nerfed too. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get to the most obvious reason to get Cobalt-B. It's her flame resonance. But remember, that's only a 15% buff. Where is it? Right here. And I don't think that should be your primary motivator for getting any weapon. I didn't recommend Claudia or Frigg despite them having resonance. I only ended up recommending Frigg because they moved a significant buff from her 3rd star to her skill, so you didn't really need any dupes to take advantage of it. What really makes Cobalt-B worth getting is that she's also a main DPS, and she's the only one for her element. To really explain how important this is, you just got to understand the DPS bias in the game. This game, like most gachas, is almost entirely focused on how much damage you can pump out. So it's no surprise that a main DPS weapon is going to be your best primary investment that you can make. And the best time to get that is when it's on a limited banner. If you're a low to medium spender, then I think she's going to be a decent long-term investment for you, even if you only get 1 copy of her. These players are more likely to need to play around enemy weaknesses, so having a fire DPS weapon would definitely help a lot with that. I remember getting Frigg to 6 stars, and I couldn't even clear Wormhole that week because they were immune to frost and weak to fire, and there's not really a fire DPS weapon, so I just couldn't clear it that week. I tried to force it with Volt, but that didn't work either, because my Volt team is kind of garbage. I'm not saying that Cobalt-B is going to be amazing at 0 stars by any means, but it will be nice to have a fire DPS weapon for those types of situations. And I also want to clarify that I'm not saying that she's a good buy because she's overpowered or anything, or really good. I'm just saying that if you take a look at your account objectively, then having a DPS weapon of each element is really going to help you in the long run. Are her advancements going to be worth it? I don't think anyone really has a good answer to that question without testing. I'll probably be doing a hands-on review where I'll go over that kind of stuff and see whether they're good value or not. I have a suspicion that she will get a lot better with advancements, but who's to say at this point? Especially since they have a habit of mistranslating and going back and not doing their nerfs properly. And we saw what happened with Frigg. They totally undid some of her nerfs. If you're a whale, then Cobalt-B becomes less important, in my opinion, just because you're probably able to power through resistances with absurd DPS. At this point, you probably have 2 good elemental teams, so if something's immune to your primary element, you just use that other element you whaled out on, and you can just ignore immunities, more or less. Anyways, that's all I had to say about Cobalt-B. If you had something else to add, let me know. Oh, before I forget, thanks for 69 subs. Later.